Alright, so what you do is this is every day is individual. They talk about...
And this is your soil kit.
The soil kit, yeah. They talk about humus, clay, and sand. Okay, and then you put them in the tubes, and you put them in water in them. You have the kids shake it up, and you talk about how it settles. See how the sand went straight to the bottom, and how some of it floats around. The kids notice that. When you do the clay and you shake it up, all the kids, oh man, look, it fills up the whole tube. And then when you do the humus, well, they didn't add enough water in there, but it does the same thing. They notice how some of the stuff sticks. They notice how some of the stuff floats at the top of the humus. And you do that one lesson, and then the next lesson is really neat, is because you give them a mixture of the stuff. So like this one was parts sand and part humus. So you put that, I didn't tell them what it was, I just told them it was a mystery mixture. I shook it up, and they said, oh, Mr. Vogel, well, I see that the humus is sticking to the tube, so that was part humus. Then they said, oh, man, you know what, the clay is part red, so I know that the clay's in there also. And then they would say, oh my gosh, look, and if you look at the very bottom, you can see like sand. So they could, it was really neat. They would tell me, oh look, there's the 3 types that we talked about. Now some of them only had, I think, part clay and part humus, so not all, there were 3 different ones. So it was really neat for them to shake it up and be able to actually say, oh look, I noticed this, that the clay is right there. I know that the humus floated to the top.
Okay, and now they wrote all this in their journals?
This is what we did for our journals. It comes with these pages, so I took a whole Monday and I draw a picture of what it looked like afterwards. He did a nice job on his. Mystery mixture, they had to use the same test that we'd done before. So you do all the tests before with the individual ones, and then you use the mystery mixture to find out. So he had the sand in the bottom and the clay.
Okay, and these are consumables, which means that we don't have to send them back. And so we decided to send these with the kids, so they had something they could go home and talk about what they did with this, what they learned, to share with people at home. You can see how the sand has settled all the way to the bottom, and then the humus is up at the top more. So it kind of shows them that the sand is heavier.
Worms, and what they did was they brought in compost. We encouraged apple peels, orange peels, and pieces of lettuce. They also got 2 or 3 worms per person. Now, believe it or not, they loved their worms. Many of them named their worms, wrote about their worms, got attached to the worms. Eventually, they actually got to take them home as well. When we're passing things out, there's lots of things to pass out. I assigned partners, and it was either partner A or partner B, which helped you keep things equal. You'd say, partner A, come over here and get your test tubes, or partner B, come over here and get your dirt. And that made things a little more even keel and kept things organized.
I'm going to tell you about my worms. First, we put them in a little baggie and put soil in it, 2 worms in it. Then the next day, then we put them like in this pink little box. Then the next day, somebody brings some food for our worms, and some worms died, and some worms just got out, and some worms didn't die.
Did you wonder about the worms? What did you wonder?
I wondered if it would like live until the soil thing was over and the food would be gone.
The kids each got to plant. Each group got to plant cucumber seeds. They planted one in the local soil, and then they planted the other in one of the 3 types of soil that we've been studying. This one was the humus. They had to label it and water it. And then you have to put these cards over it to try to keep it moist in there until the cucumber seeds start coming up. And then they also did another planting experiment. Now this one is just to see how soil grows differently in the different kinds of, how cucumbers will grow differently in the different kinds of soil. But this one is really cool because they planted a cucumber seed down into the side so that when it starts growing, they'll be able to see the roots actually on the side of this container. And they said that they will start to even push the cotton balls out as they grow. And they'll be able to see the difference in the different types of soil, how it pushes through, how it grows differently, or, you know, in the different soils. They're really excited to see those.
And so this is all.
This was a very messy one, yes.
But this is all consumable.
It was all consumable stuff that didn't have to be sent back. The plastic trays you needed for this had to be sent back, but we just made do with some other junk that we had laying around.
Cucumber plant.
Cucumber seed.
Cucumber seed. And then we're gonna put some. We're gonna put
What types of soil are we going to use?
sand and clay.
We're going to use,
Humus.
So we're going to put one potting soil and the other one is either going to be sand, clay.
Here's page 1, word bank. Page 2, live wonder. Page 3, soil prediction. Page 4, soil options.
Okay. So what were your I wonders about this?
I wonder if the soil will dry up, and then if it dries up, it'll get really old. I wonder if we gotta throw it out or see what happens to it. And when we do that, we'll probably put a couple more water in it so more water come out the bottom. And then, so we'll keep on doing it and do all these stuff to the soils and all that. Like do dirt, clay, sand, humus, all that. We'll probably be adding some more stuff. We'll be probably adding some more stuff to it.
So do you think anything's going to grow?
Yeah, I think like this and this. I basically think that is going to grow.
Which one is this?
It's soil. Garden soils. There's a cucumber seed right in there.
How long ago did you do this?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Okay.
And this is clay, water in it, a cucumber seed in there. Next page. I think a whole lot of stuff we're gonna do to all these soils and stuff.
Does it need water?
Does it need water?
What do you think?
No.
No water, huh?
Only a little.
A little bit of water? But you said what?
But when it rains, the flowers still grow.
So you're kind of discussing this, huh?
Yes, I gotta draw. I gotta label it, and I gotta put the sand and stuff, whatever we got in the cup. I have to draw it, and then I gotta label it and draw lines and put whatever it is. And this is a container.
Okay.
And then inside it is a paper towel.
Okay.
And then humus and stuff is in it.
Okay.